Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment.
Hey guys, welcome once again to another review. Um, so today we're gonna be doing the two Bravo shows, Married to Medicine, the season finale, and RHOP episode 2. But before we go ahead and talk about the episode, how would you rate the both shows, Married to Medicine, the finale, and RHOP episode 2?
Married to Medicine, I would give them a 4. No, 3.7. Um, uh, Real House Wives of Atlanta,
Yeah.
they would get the 4. You know,
Hmm. For me, I was very surprised that um an episode, the season finale of the real of Might and Medicine will do this poorly. For me, I was shocked because normally I expect season finales to be, explosive, interesting, being like, okay, what am I going to be expecting next season? What am I going to be expecting the reunion? But just in the reunion, the episode, I was like, what the heck was that? That was a very, I would not be surprised if the ratings is very low. I would not be
yeah.
surprised. You gave it a 3. I gave it a 1. That's how unmemorable the finale was. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Wow.
gave it a 1.
Okay.
And the fact, maybe because I'm pissed off because right now I'm still trying to heal from my ear stuff. So to get to frustrate myself to watch that, oh my God. Just for me to 1. It was very, there was nothing in the episode, I'm not gonna lie, nothing. Then when it comes to RHOA, like I feel like this season might be a dump, might be a flop. Although I'm still trying to give it time, but I feel
Okay.
like it's gonna be a flop. But firstly, let's talk about RM Right to Medicine. And I just want to talk about, because for me, from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode, there was nothing really that explosive or something worthy of talking about. So we're going to talk about what happened at the end of the episode. Let's talk about Toya's event,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
She wanted everybody to be there. I love that she tried to include everybody, although for that to be possible, Sweetie and Greg had to come first. Then later on, Quad and King would come in. Now, Sweetie and Greg came in, had their fun, talked to the guys, and I noticed something about Greg, that Greg is not bowing down to the fact that at one point he did something kind of wrong in that situation between him and King. He's not trying to accept that.
Right.
Um, but it seems like Sweetie is still trying to. Sweetie still knows that yes, it's kind of wrong, but I don't think, because I think because she's his wife, she's trying not to um she's trying not to um go, like, how would I do it, say it, like it's like your husband is saying something else, you're saying something else. She's trying not to have double talks about them. She's trying to just follow her husband's lead. But following your husband's lead blindly, is it something that is right?
You know, I hate to keep coming to this, but
Yeah.
you gotta look at Gregory's track record from what we've seen on TV.
Mm,
He gets explosive, and he seems like he gets a little out of control.
mm,
Now how far he takes it, I don't know.
yeah.
But I look, I've been in situations where you're kind of like you're paralyzed.
Mm,
You know how a person's talking to you or treating you, or how they're making you feel is so wrong and it's going against the grain, but you're paralyzed with kind of like fear and shock.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's almost like the first time. This is how narcissists and abuse works. The first time, they'll blame it on you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not willing to take the blame, they want to argue, 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 and argue you down till you try to say, damn, am I crazy? Maybe it was me. Maybe it didn't happen like I'm thinking this happened. You know what I'm saying? You second guess
Yes.
yourself. Okay. The next thing is screaming and yelling and all up in your face. Okay.
Mm,
You don't think it could get any worse than that because you let it go. Then
yeah.
the next time it's like pushing you, shoving you, slapping you. You know what I'm saying? Not full closed hand yet. You know what I'm saying? Or punching walls or destroying stuff around you. I've
Yeah.
been through it. You know, after that comes the punching, the shoving, the kicking, the degrading. You know what I'm saying? And by then, your whole trauma is in shock. You don't know what to do, what to think, how to get out of it. You just want to be safe. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say we've seen it, and we've heard some of the stuff that
Yeah.
Quad said about Greg. He dragged her in the living room. I don't know if you remember that. I have a very vivid imagination of remembering the stuff she said about him. You know, when they were they were living together, they were married, they're having therapy, and she was telling the therapist it was a man and woman, they were married, and she was telling him, hey, yeah, he dragged me, all through the living room, you know. And so, when a person gets that violent with you, they really want to hurt you. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this to say, yeah, Sweet Tea, we've seen how he yelled at her in the kitchen, walked upstairs, closed the room, and basically told her, "You don't want this smoke."
Mm-hmm.
So she knows. She tries to calm him down. She tries to pet his ego. Because see, she's not gonna want to deal with the repercussions
Yeah.
of him getting too hot behind the subject when all she's trying to do is love him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to say that.
Mm. The fact that I see that she is trying, like she's trying to shelter him. You can
Yeah,
see it in that episode where she was like trying to let him know that, guy, I don't know whether you've forgotten the cameras are here,
yeah.
stop with this attitude. She was trying to relate that to him, and the guy didn't care
No, he
whether the
didn't.
cameras was there. He was prepared to do
Yeah.
whatsoever he wanted to do without caring the world.
Hmm.
Now, um, like I said, she following him blindly, I don't understand. But still, the reason why I'm not going to talk very much on this because I'm not married. I'm speaking from the
Right.
single perspective. I will not be following my husband blindly. I don't
Hmm.
care what it is.
Hmm.
I don't think I will get to that point where my husband is doing something. And even when I know he's wrong, I will still blindly follow him and do with him. I've seen where that leads people into trouble.
Right.
Um, so I don't think if my husband is doing something and I know he's wrong, but because okay, the fact that we have a union and we are married, I have to, present that front that okay, even if I don't see, I don't believe in condemning your person in front of people. Even if I don't condemn him in front of people, when we are indoor, I'll be letting him know every single time that stop that. You're effing up. Like that thing you're doing doesn't make sense. I would not
Right.
be soothing his ego like when she was like, yeah, you did well, Greg, after he sang the music for Quad. I wouldn't be doing that
Hmm.
because that was done without the cameras, right? So you won't
Right.
say, yeah, you guys were shooting, so we did that. And that was that without the presence of anybody from the cast members. So what was the reason for all that? Why were you hailing him? Why were you telling him, oh yeah, you did well? Why did you even allow him or allow that video be given to the producers to add it into the episode?
Right.
Those kind of things make me feel like that is wrong. I understand you being by your husband in front of every other person. Of course, that's your partner. Stick by your partner. But um where I don't understand is even in private, you just can't call it out. That part gets me like, okay, something is wrong somewhere. And now, like we're saying, Sweetie and Greg came to the party. They wanted to leave because very soon Quad and King was gonna come. Now you could see that Sweetie didn't want to leave.
Right.
Sweetie wanted to be at that party. But unfortunately, yeah, there is a court, there's a police filing. So of course King cannot be close to your husband. So no matter how you be like, okay, I don't know what she was thinking. Maybe if she does that face she was doing to Toya, maybe Toya will be like, okay, you stay. Okay, you guys can stay. Like, I didn't understand why she was doing it. And but I did understand that she wanted to stay. The party was interesting. She wanted to stay. So, but at the end of the day, second things has happened. This is the first time that this kind of thing has happened to them as a group. And this show
Right.
has gone on for 11 seasons, right? They've
Mm-hmm.
gone through the tough times, the raggedy times, where we thought that it was, we've gone through a lot of process of marriage to medicine, but we've not seen where that's going to extend where the one person is going to the police to
Right.
report. So it's a strange dynamics in the group. It is new for every one of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for me, I didn't understand. And now the problem I have now is that they've gotten, because it's a strange thing, it's a new thing, they've gotten to a moment of Quad and King wants them to choose them, right?
Right.
The other people too want them to choose them. So now that is where I see that they are now. But do you feel like, because when Quad came in and they started talking about the issue that Sweetie and Greg just left, and Toya was trying to tell her that she should understand whether they could be on the same, environment, same atmosphere, and Quad was like, put yourself in my shoes. Do you think it was wrong of her to make that argument? Because a lot of people were like hating on her for making that argument about the fact that she didn't want to be around Greg. And I do understand. See, I'm not going to fault Quad because I didn't know, I wasn't there in the marriage. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what that lady went through in that marriage. I know that there are sometimes I've been in relationship, friendship, situationship with people, and when I come out, to even be in the presence of that person, in short, I do not want to be in the presence of that person. I remember there was a time I broke up with one of my ex. Like, I didn't want to see, smell, in short, be in the same atmosphere with that person, breathe the same air. So everything we did, I literally avoided, and we had mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to always confirm and be sure that, okay, this person is not going to be there before I show face. And if I even hear a whims of the fact that he was coming, I would like make an exit. So I do understand that, yeah, we don't know what went on in the relationship, how toxic it was. We're not there in the marriage for her to be in that moment, because the same thing goes for Greg. Greg doesn't want to be in the same environment with Quad. Quad too doesn't want to be in the same environment with Greg. Now, do you feel like Toya and the rest are trying to force it on Quad, and they should? Or do you feel like they should have just left her to make a separate decision? If she doesn't want to film with them, that's her choice.
Yeah. I mean, I get all that, but then I still want to take it back to, you know, um, when Quad's marriage was over with Greg, Quad was no
Yes.
longer on the show, right?
Yeah.
Soon as um, Greg gets married and him and his new wife comes, here comes Quad because of Phaedra, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she comes back. You know what the situation was. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you've been seen at different little soirees that they were having around town. Like the little uh what did they have? The little hip
Met
hop.
Gala.
Yeah, no, but yeah, they had the little hip hop thing that Quad was at, where they had the little low riding cars. Um, they had different events. And Quad, hey Gregory, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But now you got a boo, and it's like, oh well, he did this and he did that, and I lived a
Mm.
horrible life, and oh my God, you weren't saying all that before.
Before. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's making me think that you're unhealed, and now you're in another relationship. Look, I don't like people who's gonna switch up on me seriously, and I know people
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? But be how you gonna be all through the whole time that you know me. Then that way, I know how to treat you. But if you're gonna switch up, then I'm gonna switch up, and you're not gonna like my switch up. You see what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was Sweet Tea, I would kind of be feeling like she act like she was cool. You know what I'm saying? And we could possibly get along. But if this is what she's going to be doing now, she's booed up, coupled off, going to be coming after my marriage, me and my husband. You know, like she just threw uh, a pair of dirty panties down and I picked it up and put them on. You know what I'm saying? You don't finish with your plate, and now you're saying give the rest of the peasants so they can eat my scraps, and I happen to be that peasant. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
I would feel like I was played. Matter of fact, I would feel like I was played by the whole group. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really on Quad's side, simply because if that was the fact at the beginning, then why didn't you keep it the fact?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You switched it up. At first it was like, oh, me and Gregory will never be together, and he's a, awful person, whoop, 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 whoop. And, now I'm free, and, well, I'm glad he found somebody and moved on, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, and hey, Gregory, how you doing? Oh, me and Gregory, we're friends. We're old friends. You know, and then the next thing
Mm.
you got a boo, and it's like, oh, well, I threw him a bone and he took it. And, I grabbed my bone back because he didn't deserve it. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much confusion and commotion. You know what I'm saying? So, what is it?
And
Either,
it also, we wouldn't also put it that, oh, someone in the comment section said Kwan never left the show. Um, have been thinking 32 said Kwan never left the show. She also said she just wasn't hanging around the group outside filming. Yeah, that
okay.
part is known that she doesn't hang around the group after
Okay.
filming. Now, when it comes to that Greg thing, I say it is a two-way thing. I'm neither on anyone's side.
Me either.
Greg, for me, I'm neither in Greg's corner
Me either.
or Quad's corner because when she came with the hug, he also reciprocated the hug, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hugged it out, and he at that time he didn't have an issue with Quad being around him because then he was flashing. Now, every one of them is selfish in their own way, but I understand.
Right.
I understand. When he was getting married, when everything was fresh with him and Sweetie, when he could rub it in Quad's face, he wanted Quad to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a problem with Quad being there,
Right.
right?
Right.
And now Quad has a boyfriend. Okay, Quad too wants to be like, you know what? Let me rub you off to the way you rubbed me when you were getting married, right? And
Right.
now he's having an offense because now she is with a younger guy,
Right.
younger than him,
Right.
fit than him. So now I think the problem was to see. I think, and I would say, and I've been thinking about it for a while, and I said, if that Quad never had King and she came this season the way she came last season, I don't think they would have had a problem.
Probably not.
I don't think he would have had a problem with Quad. Probably Sweetie, and they will try to create rift between Sweetie and Quad. But I know that Gregory and Quad wouldn't have had an issue. But because now she has a fresh guy and she's trying to be like, yeah, the way you put your wedding in my face, I'm gonna put it in your face. It's like tit for tat. They're trying to pay each other back. He did it to her when he was getting married. So she's doing it back to him now that she has a guy that she loves and loves her back. So they're doing it to each other. So that's why I'm like, I'm not on either of them side. But I think if Quad said, my own part is that if Quad said I don't want to be around him, the ladies to accept it because none of them would want to be around their ex. None of those ladies, even Simone, even Toya, if she gets divorced from Eugene today and you tell them to be together or and she would not want it. So I'm like, if you know you don't want this thing, why are you pushing somebody else to do it? It's like I hate that kind of situation when um something like something I cannot do, right? You are
Mm-hmm.
forcing me. Something you cannot do, you're forcing me to do it. It doesn't sit right with me at all. And what is even pissing me off is that, and I think also the way that two of them are being like, I don't care, I don't want to be. I feel like let's be realistic. The whole storyline of My to Meeting season 11 is this.
Right.
Nothing like spectacular did happen this season. And is the from the king coming in from the 15th time having of sexing, um them wanting to have a baby all of a sudden when her and King, her and Greg were trying. That is that those were the things that made the season interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, there was no season of Married to Medicine. I'm sorry to say that. Married to Medicine this season was trash. If I didn't have Quad and Gregory having that problem, I don't think My to Medicine would have made sense. If I didn't have them talking about the baby, if I didn't have them talking about the sex thing, if I didn't have that fight between Gregory and
King.
King, nothing at all. In short, that reunion would have been also boring because that is also going to be the epic moment of the reunion too.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
That is also going to be the epic moment of the reunion because there's nothing, absolutely, thinking about it, there's nothing in this season. And that's why I said the finale was, that was the only thing that I can say, okay, I can vividly, like, it's stored in my head that I say, okay, I'm remembering from the finale episode of My to Bedtime. Every other thing, just like air, has gone out. And that's bad. For a finale, like, it's disappointing.
Yeah. It
It's
is.
disappointing.
It is. I mean, like you said, it wasn't really that exciting. They didn't really do a whole lot. They went on a couple of trips, but it was about Quad, Sweet Tea, Greg, and then later King.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just wait and see how let's just wait and see how the reunion is gonna, be like. Although I know that's gonna be the main topic, the main storyline of the reunion. But I'm anticipating to see the reunion how it's gonna be as
Well, I'm
now.
just not understanding how
Yeah.
they're going to have three parts to the reunion and there's not much to
Oh,
recall.
you too, you thought about it? When
Say
I
what?
heard three-part reunion, no, I said you thought about it too. When I heard the
Yeah,
three-part reunion, I was like, from where?
yeah,
What's the storyline?
yes,
What's the storyline? I know that there are going to be a lot of fillers in the reunion. I know for sure. There are going to be a lot of fillers. Lots of fillers. And it's disappointing.
very, very. It's,
Mm.
it's almost like blowing brain cells for nothing.
Mm. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about um the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, that's another episode that flopped for me. I think the season is gonna be Drew, Portia, and Dennis,
Mm,
and it's disappointing now because that's the only thing I'm gonna talk about in this episode. Yeah, let's just be real. We saw them. The whole episode was the aftermath of Shema's birthday from episode one,
right.
right?
Mm,
And everybody was talking about it. Apart from the thing we had about Brittany talking to her husband, and that was really not interesting. Like, let's just go ahead and talk about the main thing. Drew and Portia. Since we didn't talk about it we didn't come here to talk about it in episode one. Let's quickly just do a roundup. How did you feel about it that Portia was so much pushy to Drew about it? Because for me, I feel like there was nothing wrong from Drew's side. I feel like Portia is just trying to make problems where they are not. She didn't say that she was having a relationship with him. She has a business relationship with Dennis. Now, do I feel like Portia has a standing to talk what she's talking? No, because Portia, we watched Portia literally steal Simon from her own friend and still felt like she was doing right. So it's like pot cat calling kettle calling a pot black. The both of you are black. So, how did you feel about Portia really going deep on um Drew about the Dennis stuff? And how did you feel about that whole conversation?
wow, where do I begin? Well, was Portia actually really friends with Simon's previous wife? No, they
Mm.
weren't friends. I think they were trying to see if a friendship could cultivate because I think they kind of like knew of each other and she invited them over. Hey, you guys come over and let's swim, whatever, whatever. Let me introduce you to my husband. You see what I'm saying? Because if they were friends, she would already know the husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think they were acquaintances trying to get to
Okay.
know each other. And Portia said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know what? Look, it looked like he got some money and uh I think I'm a better fit, so I'm just slide up in here. You know what I'm saying? Which is
Yes.
dirty. That was dirty. Like who does that? You know what I'm saying? So uh then the whole thing with her going through her divorce, I can't really feel sorry for you because how you got that man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and then the whole thing with Drew, you know, Drew and her weird relationship with Ralph, that is some weird shit there. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
was a weird, like he always act like he never liked her to begin with when they first got on the show. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he set up a romantic dinner, and she said one wrong sentence, and he got pissed off and left her sitting there on the balcony. I don't know if you remember that. Um, and she sat there by herself.
Mm-hmm.
He just never seemed like he supported her. They were going to therapy and he felt like he didn't need it. And, the therapist was coming to the house. They were doing it in the backyard. Like, it was just so much going on with that marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like they, he lost interest a long time ago before they even got on the show. And he was just like, whatever, Drew, whatever. You want to do show? Okay, whatever. you know? And in the meantime, he's doing his own thing when he was going out of town, you know. So yeah, that was a crazy relationship. Now as far as Drew trying to do business with Dennis, like Atlanta, that's the next Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You have all kind of people that are in the music industry that has a well-known name out there, you know. And Drew, you got a little pull. You done been in a few musics. You got a nice voice. You know what I'm saying? Um, you could have got in touch with anybody out there other than Dennis. No matter how attractive Dennis made the package look. You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because all contracts ain't good contracts. You know, so especially with the little talent that she has. I mean, she has a big talent. But let me take that back. She has a big talent. Because she can sing. Now I don't know about how well her acting skills are and how sharpened they've gotten since her past last movie from years and decades ago. You know what I'm saying? But she does a lot of pretty good acting on Atlanta Housewives.
Yeah.
you know. But as far as her and Portia with this little argument here, you know, um, it's certain lines you don't cross, you know, amongst friends and frenemies. They're frenemies. They're not friends, they're frenemies, but still there is certain lines you don't cross, you know. And Portia, you cross one, so somebody cross one on you. So fair exchange is no robbery. And
Mm.
basically, I'm not on either one of their sides.
Yeah. See, the truth is that I'm not on either one of their side, but I just feel like Portia doesn't really have a standing to be taking it this far,
No, she don't.
right?
True.
I understand that that's her baby daddy, actually. So, but one thing that I want to also talk about it before we kind of like come up to close to this review is the fact that at the ending, did you see the way she kind of used their child to threaten Dennis when talking to him about the situation, and he was seeming as if he was not going to stop, uh, maybe helping Drew in her music. Did you see the way she subtly threatened him with a child? I don't know whether it was for maybe I was the one that was reading it wrongly. But I felt like before she drove away, I felt like she kind of used their child to threaten Dennis.
What did she say? Because maybe my mind wasn't there really into much into the
She
conversation.
she she was like, don't mess with me, because after talking to him and he was sounding as if he was still gonna be hanging out with Drew, it was like, don't mess with me, because at the end of the day, the person that will suffer the consequences is you, and that I'm my child.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
no,
should
I
go
didn't
back to watch
see.
it.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
I'm gonna
ending
have to go
part.
back and watch it. But if those were her words, then hell yeah, that's a
No,
threat.
not verbatim. Like, that's not the word. Like, I'm just trying to interpret
Well,
it. Like,
yeah. But I'm just saying, if it was in that context, you see what I'm
yeah,
saying? If it was in that
yeah.
context, then yeah, that's a threat. You know, that's a threat saying you keep it up. Your visitation is over. You know what I'm saying? You won't be spending that
Mm,
much quality time, sir. You're gonna have to make a choice. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So yeah, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? When you're a parent and you're trying to co-parent, you have to take your emotions out of it. You know what I'm saying? Not unless it is something that is harmful directly to that child. You know what I'm saying? Where it can hurt
mm,
that child emotionally, physically, spiritually. You don't break down children, and you don't hold them as a pawn in somebody else's life. That's not cool. Definitely not cool. So if that's her intentions, then yeah, something's wrong here. You know what I'm saying? Like, get through your divorce. You know, it's a money grab at this point. Get what you're gonna get. you know, Keep it pushing. Take care of your kid. And if Dennis is gonna be a hoe with Drew, then let him be a hoe with Drew. Now see, okay, now let's go back to her saying her real purpose is she doesn't want him to film with Drew.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? Okay, now, hey, look, I'm gonna look at it like this: if you're giving me child support, and now you're coming to my place of work to work, and you already got your own thing going, but you're coming over here part time to work, then look, you gonna have to do more stuff for the baby. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Because now you're coming into my workspace. You know what I'm saying? One of my avenues of generating income for me and this kid. You see what I'm saying?
mm.
So I'm gonna look at it like a business. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do more, or contribute more towards this baby. Because now you all up in my space.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna discourage it because that's more
Mm-hmm.
for my baby. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
put my feelings to the side, because hey, you trying to make that bag, I'm trying to make that bag. But don't cause a problem here. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
And that's where I would be with it. But for me to walk off storming and crying and he's ruining the dynamics, he's shaking my world. Oh, he's tearing this family apart. I can't trust him. Like, girl, stop. Shit. You know, get that
Oh my
money. Get that
God.
money. Let him get that money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And she was getting pissed that he wanted to film with
With Drew.
Drew. I
Yeah.
feel like he's also your storyline, because we've been in second episode now. This is what you're talking about, because I don't think she'll really talk about Simon so much in this season.
Right.
She won't be able to talk about Simon so much in this season because of the court case and the
Right.
divorce. pending and the rest. I don't think you should talk
Mhm.
about Simon a lot. So if you're not talking about Simon, what exactly will you be doing on the show? So at the end of the day, you still have to thank Drew for giving you a storyline.
Yeah,
No, that's
that
the way I
part.
see it.
Yeah, that part.
Because it's looking like without Drew, what would Portia have talked about in episode one? What would Portia have talked about in episode two?
Mhm. True that.
So at the end of the day, Drew is giving her a storyline. And I feel like for me, it's starting to be like it is overproduced. I don't know whether it's whether you don't see it. I feel like it's like when you feel like this thing shouldn't be a problem, you get, and they are trying to make it a problem. You're just being like, build for real. Like, really? This is a problem?
Yeah, look, I don't have a problem seeing one of my exes. You know, I don't care for them, but I wouldn't have a problem seeing them. And especially if I was getting some money, because I'm dealing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that money, do what I need to do, keep my cool, you know, because diamond bracelets looks better than handcuffs. You know,
Especially if it's about money. The poor girl is trying to work out her money. She's trying to
uh,
make money,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Better
Oh
make it
my
while you
God.
can. Yeah. Oh, who knows? Maybe in the coming episodes, she'll gather her senses and let this boy go on to do what he gonna do. You know, and let her, and then she can live her life. You know.
I just hope that, see, my own prayer is that this is not gonna be a long journey of um this is the drama between Drew and Portia. We're gonna have a long storyline about it. That's just my own. I don't want that because it's gonna piss me off that it's already pissing me off that they had this so much shake up on the cast members, and I'm not seeing the difference. I'm
Well,
not seeing the difference. The lack of substance and the lack of storyline that I complained last season is still what I'm complaining. And these new girls, I don't get them. I'm trying to give them a chance. That's why I'm not really talking about them. I'm
hmm
trying to give them a chance. I don't want to jump the ball because I'm used to particular faces. I'm used to some particular people, but I don't know. Opinion.
well, I'm gonna form a small opinion on the new
Yeah.
girls. What are their
Yeah.
names?
Brittany, Kelly, I've forgotten the other one. Shemi's. Uh, there's one more I've forgotten.
Well, okay. Let's start with Brittany and Kelly. They're young. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna basically speak their minds. They're a little on the messy side. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I like their bluntness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would rather for somebody to tell me what they're thinking while they're thinking it, especially if you're in front of my face, than to be saying some shit behind my back, and then I find out that you said something, and then that means I'm gonna have to come confront you because I am. You know what I'm saying? Especially when everybody's there. I'm a whole court, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
like their bluntness, but I want to see if they got any skeletons in their closet.
In their closets, right?
you know, And time will tell.
And it seems like they're kind of just focusing on the old girls.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, the older girls, especially Kenya, she's gonna be a little jealous, because you're in her territory. You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna have a few little smart things to say, like, "Oh, so you're not married?" You know, uh, that was a bad ring she had on. You know, it didn't really
Mm-hmm.
look like a wedding band. It looked like a cocktail ring. But she said, "Hey, this is my anniversary ring."
Mm-hmm.
But why was Kenya so focused?
Yeah,
She,
the ring part. That part did not make sense to me why Kenya was so focused on the ring.
yeah,
I
that's
I
that's a
didn't
little
I did
jealousy. That's a little jealousy.
I
You
didn't
know.
get that part. I kept on questioning myself, like, what is your problem with the fucking ring? Like, if she's wearing an engagement ring or a friendship ring or a proposal ring, what's your business? It's
Yeah,
her ring.
exactly. She was
Uh,
jealous because she was looking really pretty. What was her name? That's not Kelly. That's the other one. Brittany.
Bethany,
Yeah,
I mean,
Brittany was looking really pretty. So it's like all of a sudden her eyes went straight to her whole facade. Then she focused in on that ring. She married. Like, what's going on with her? Like, that's the little jealousy there. You know, hope Kenya gets over it.
mm,
But I like the new girls so far. I like their bluntness.
mm. Well, I just want to see how that will play out. But I didn't like the way Kenya just went at Aha and be like, "Oh, your we've heard about you on the streets." I'm like, that's just too much. What did you hear about her on the streets? You know. So I guess we'll just see how
Mhm.
that will play out on this season. But I can't deal with it. I just hope this season is good. I literally hope that this season is good at all. I really hope.
Yeah, let's hopefully they can all find some type of intimate part or even everyday part of their lives that they're willing to show and share with us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I mean,
No,
isn't that all the part of a reality TV show?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes your everyday life isn't exciting, but at least show us what you do every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I'm
Well,
just hoping for more realness.
let us see. Let's just see how it's gonna play out in this season. But let's just our fingers are crossed that this season is gonna be better than the previous season, and they can really be authentic with their storylines. That's just what I hope for. Like, I hope
Fingers
we'll be
crossed.
watching. Well, guys, thanks for joining us for another review. Don't forget to like and comment, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys same time next week for another review of My to Medicine and RHOA. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.
Bye.